Hi everyone, I'm Phil and welcome to Free the Mind Adventures. I thought I'd take the opportunity to do a bit of a walk around of my 2008 3 litre GU Nissan Patrol. Well, we'll start with the front of the vehicle. Here I have mounted, it's a Ironman Deluxe bull bar. I went for this one purely because it has bigger hoops on it and I reckon it suits the Patrol really nice. I've also mounted, I've got two 9-inch LED spotlights. Also with them, paired with them, I have two 32-inch LED light bars, one on the bull bar here and one also mounted up there on the roof cage. I've also got in here the Dominator X winch. It's a 12,000 pound winch with nylon rope. I found it a really good winch. It's got me out of trouble a fair few times. I've had it on here for about 4 years and had no dramas with it. I also have on the front here mounted my two UHF antennas. I'll get into that a bit later on why I run two UHFs. We've moved on to the passenger side of the vehicle. Obviously I have a snorkel fitted to this vehicle. I find it having a snorkel is pretty important for some of the touring and exploration I go on when it comes to river crossings and stuff like that. Down here I've got I run the Falcon Wild Peak mud terrain tyres. I found them really good, really reliable. I've had them on here for about 4 years and had no dramas with them, no punctures, nothing like that at all. I found them really good. They're paired up with the standard alloy Patrol mags. I'm running a 33-inch tyre on this, as well as I've upgraded my suspension. I'm running a 2-inch lift on this with the it's the Ironman heavy duty suspension all round, and I found it really good as well. No problems at all with it. I've also mounted up, paired with the bull bar, the Ironman brush guards or brush rails and side steps. I found them really tough. I've put them through their paces over a lot of rocky country and stuff like that, and they've always come up trumps, no dramas at all with them. Up here on the side I have mounted a 2.5 by 2.5 metre awning. I found it's really good, really easy to set up, especially on those day trips and stuff like that. Inside the awning I've installed LED strip lighting, which runs back down into the back of the car and it has a switch for that. Makes it a lot easier when setting up of a night and that. You don't have to worry about trying to find camp lights and that to set up. Up here on each front corner of the roof cage, I have small 6-inch LED light bars just to give me a bit more light out to the sides of the vehicle, especially for off-roading at night. On top of my roof cage up here I have mounted a 120 watt permanent solar panel which feeds into my DC charger, which I'll show you later. Rightio, in the back here I've cut up your windscreen shade visor and installed with Velcro strips on each window at the rear of the vehicle here, purely to try and keep it cool in there. That's where my fridge sits in the back. So I've done that, just a cheap option to try and keep it nice and cool in the rear of the vehicle, so the fridge doesn't have to work overtime. Rightio, here we are at the rear of the vehicle. Once again, up the top here I've mounted another awning for the rear of the vehicle. It's a 1.2 by 2.5 metre awning, and same as the side awning I've also mounted LED strip lighting in there, which again runs back down into the back of the vehicle. They've both got separate switches. On the rear here I've got my spare tyre mounted. These being 33-inch, I've had to put the purpose-built spacer in there so I can mount them on the rear barn door. I've also got my dirty bag on the rear tyre. I carry this everywhere. It just makes it easy for getting rid of rubbish, and any dirty recovery gear and stuff like that can go in there. Down the bottom here, I've set it up with, I have the 7-pin round plug and 7-pin flat plug for any trailers I need to tow. I also have a Anderson plug adapter just here for when I'm towing my camper trailer to charge the batteries in it and stuff like that. Right, now we'll go into the back of the vehicle itself. I've done a few cheap mods in the rear of the vehicle here. Anybody that owns a Nissan Patrol knows that this rear smaller barn door can be a pain when you're sitting on an angle and that. It just wants to keep shutting on itself. I've done a $10 Bunnings modification here on the door. Just bought a little gas strut and fitted it up, and it's actually made a big difference. It doesn't keep shutting on me. On this barn door, I've built myself a little fold-out camp table, just out of wood at the moment. I will be hopefully changing it over to a stainless steel table, but at the moment I've just got a pretty easy fold-out little table here that I can set up for cooking and stuff like that. Also in the rear of my vehicle, I have 4 kids, so when we go away on trips I do need that extra seat in the rear here, so that's why I've got my setup done like this, so I can still have that extra seat in the rear. In the rear I've got a it's a 48 litre Evercool drawer fridge, or fridge freezer. I've had it for a few years now, and I think it does the job really well. I found I can set it on about 2 to 5. As long as stuff is pre-frozen, I can sit it in there, sit at the rear of the drawer. It'll stay frozen the whole time, and the cooler stuff, the milk and stuff like that, you don't want frozen, just sit at the front. It works really well. I've also got just a single drawer system in the rear here, which is where I store my air compressor, tools, any small spare parts, fuses, stuff like that, and all my recovery gear is in there as well. Up the back here, I've built myself a little panel on the left-hand side window here. It holds my 1000-watt inverter, and I also have 2 4-switch panels mounted there with 12-volt SIG sockets and USB charger ports in them as well. Those switches there are what I control. I can control my awning lights, my reverse or work lights that are mounted up here as well can all be turned on by the switches there, and my fridge also runs off those switch panels. I can turn it on and off from there as well. And I also have my fuse box for all the rear of the vehicle is also mounted up there, which makes it nice and easy. If a fuse blows, I can access it really easy. As far as safety goes, I've also got a small fire extinguisher mounted in the rear of the vehicle. As I said before, I do most of my cooking and that at the rear of the vehicle here, so it's always handy to have the fire extinguisher right there in case something goes wrong. Rightio, here we are on the driver's side of the vehicle. Not much different to the other side of the vehicle, except on this side, up on the roof cage, I mount my high lift jack and my shovel. I also have my MaxTrax. They're mounted up here on the roof cage at the rear for easy access. Apart from that, there's not too much different on this side of the vehicle. Righto, this is a quick look at under the bonnet here of my Patrol. I haven't done too much to it under here. I haven't put any modifications or anything like that. It's all stock standard, standard intercooler and everything like that. I keep it serviced fairly regularly, so this engine doesn't skip a beat. But I do have a dual battery system set up under here. I have my crank and my auxiliary batteries over here. Like I said before, with the solar panel I have mounted on the roof, it runs down through here. It's a bit hard to see, but I do have a CTEK DC charger mounted in under the bonnet here, and I found it really good. Once I put that on there, These Nissan Patrols are renowned for not wanting to fully charge the auxiliary batteries and having issues with alternators and charging and stuff like that. Once I put that on there, coupled with the solar panel, I've had no issues at all. It keeps everything nice and charged, and I have had no dramas since doing that. Rightio, we'll move on to the last part of the vehicle, which is the interior. I haven't done too much in here. Most of what I've done is all been modifications by myself. So as you can see, I have my GPS unit up here, which is the VMS system, off-road and on-road GPS. It's worked really well for me. I haven't had too many dramas with the off-road mapping and stuff on it. I don't know if you can see it, but up in here I do run the heads-up display unit, or the speedo unit. Since going to bigger tyres on this, I found the speedo was out, and an easy cheap option for me was just to buy one of these units that run off GPS signal and stuff like that, and it's fairly accurate. I've also over here mounted, it's a 5 SIG socket bracket that I've mounted up here in the center of the dash. I have two 12-volt SIG sockets there, USB twin USB charger socket here, just a little clock there, and then I also have a volt gauge which shows the volt reading for my main and auxiliary batteries, which is pretty important. Just up here I have my phone cradle. Over here I have a temperature gauge which runs back into the fridge there, so it shows the outside and inside temperatures for the fridge, which is really handy, just to have it up front here so you can see it all the time. You don't have to keep going back to the fridge to check the temperature. And then, so just down here, this is where I've mounted all the lights for all the switches for my spotlights and light bars and stuff like that. Just up here on the roof, hopefully you can make that out there, this is a roof console I built myself to place my two UHFs in. It was a pretty simple, cheap job, just mostly stuff from Bunnings up there. So the reason why I run two UHFs is sometimes I go away on trips with a few different cars and that, and we might run a separate channel, one channel between the convoy, and I like to have that second UHF there running on channel 40, just in case, so we know what's going on if there's been an accident, or if somebody's trying to pass the convoy or things like that. I always run one UHF on 40. But other than that, that's pretty much it at this stage. You know, hopefully there'll be more things to come down the track. A few more modifications and stuff I'll do, and I'll do some videos as I do those modifications. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this vehicle. I've set it up the way, at this stage, the way I like it. It's pretty comfortable for me, does the job, gets me out to those nice remote places, gets me out exploring, and away from all the stresses of life every now and then. So hopefully I hope you liked this video, got something out of it. Please give the video a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and turn on the notifications so you get notified of every time I post a new video. Hopefully I'll post videos every Wednesday and Sunday. At this stage it looks like I will be, and other than that, enjoy.